Well, this is a bit of a tradition then, is it? Every New Year's Day?
Yeah, we bring a couple of vehicles out and just go for a little ride, only because we've got them, we like to use them. And Dad and I have spent many hours restoring them, so it's time to enjoy them and get friends round and have a cup of tea and coffee and so on.
How many different vehicles have you got?
About 6 altogether, military vehicles, ranging from a motorcycle, from an Indian Scout motorcycle, 1942, and a German outfit motorcycle and sidecar, BMW, Willis Jeep, which is parked next to us here, a Studebaker tracked personnel carrier, a Weasel M29C, and this is my favourite. This is a truck, which is a GMC CCKW 353 cargo truck.
So what's the history of a truck like this? Where does it come from, and when was it used and all that then?
So this was manufactured in the States in about 1943 and then shipped over on a Liberty ship to the UK, where it would have been final assembly. They would have put the canvas on it, put the wheels on, etc., fueled it up, oil and everything, and then it would have been used on the D-Day landings and thereafter all the way through to the end of the war.
So how old is this vehicle then?
81 years old today, yeah, or thereabouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it does it use a lot of fuel and stuff like that? What sort of an engine has it got?
Okay, so it's an overhead valve, straight 6 petrol, 4.5 litre, and this one does about 7 miles to the gallon. Dad and I have restored this from a rolling chassis. We've sandblasted it all, primed it, painted it, sourced all the appropriate parts to put it all back together with care and love, and even details like a wooden steering wheel, etc., and the gun ring above the cab, new canvas on the back, all the troop seats and everything, they've all been manufactured from new.
How difficult is it to find parts for something like this then?
Relatively easy, given the age of it. I would say sourcing parts for this is easier than getting parts for a Mark 1 Escort or a Mark 2 Escort, and readily available because there was half a million of them made during the war. After the war they were divvied up, and different armies used them all over Europe, so Portugal, Germany, France, Switzerland, Sweden, Norway, all had them, and because it wasn't cost effective to take them back to the States at the end, so they were given, for use for their armies, etc. And a lot of them were used, but some weren't. And this particular one is ex-Swiss, so it was fully refurbished by the Swiss Army, ready for the next war, and never used. So all the component parts have been refurbished, and new wheel cylinders, new drums, engine and gearbox and transfer box all being rebuilt, axles being rebuilt, and then all we really had to do was a little bit of rust work and re-Americanise it, so take all the Swiss plates off and put the American plates back on, reproduction plates, etc.
Are there more sort of American vehicles out there than any others?
Yeah, very much so. Plenty of American vehicles altogether. Of course the Jeep, everybody knows what a Jeep is, and a lot of these trucks, a lot of half tracks, some tanks. All the German stuff is very expensive, and the British stuff is out there, but a lot less of it, and they tend to leak oil and hard to get parts for. There's plenty of stuff for these. There's dealers in the UK for parts for these.
Well, thank you very much for allowing us to spend some time with you today, Andy.
Our pleasure. Nice to have you here. Always welcome.